There are lots of things we can do to be nice. Sometimes they're hard to remember, but there are two little things you should never forget. From January through December, we're talking about please and thank you. They're called the magic words. If you want nice things to happen, they're the words that should be heard. Remember, please and thank you, cause they're the magic words. Use them in the morning, at noon, at night, cause it's a great way to be polite. Please and thank you, they're the magic words.
Yes, they are. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, that's enough of Barty. Good morning, all you epics, you embracers and perception changers. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Darissa and I'm that perception chick. We started off with the song because if you can see in my title, we're talking about the magic words. We're also in the middle of our Love Fest, right? This is day 17. Day 17. And happy birthday to my godmother because today is her birthday. Also the 321st day of our word of the day. Hey there, Deacon T. Thank you for coming in. You missed our intro. Hey, Vicky. How are you, sis? Thank you. Yes, you missed our little musical intro. And so today, guess what the magic words are? Please and thank you. Yeah, our friend Barney, my son, my oldest son, he loved Barney. I can't believe he's almost 25. Please and thank you are the magic words. And today, when we talk about our mission, we're going to talk about please, and we're going to talk about thank you. So I thank you all for coming in this morning because I realize you could be anywhere else doing anything else, but you decided to drop in and see what the mission is and see what I'm talking about. And I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So we're going to get right on in there and we're going to start. So yeah, this was Barney. We listened to him sing about please and thank you. I want to go straight to the word this morning. I'm on the Are you okay? That's okay. You can always catch the replay, Vicky. I'm just happy to see you. I'm happy to see you because I usually catch you in the internet streets over there in Perry Girls in the thread or something. Yeah, please and thank you. So important. And I have a biblical reference, because we don't want to take that for granted. We don't ever want to take others for granted, ever. And during this Love Fest, that's what this Love Fest is all about. Not only showing love to our family and our friends, but to perfect strangers. That's what this is about. We're in a season of thanks, but we are in the practice during this 30 days in this Love Fest. We're in the practice of giving. But today we're going to talk about giving thanks. So I'm thinking the whole thing is just cool. The way this whole thing is working and turning out. I'm so pleased and I'm so thankful that God dropped this in my spirit and that we're all sharing together. So I'm going to go straight to scripture. And then there's a parable about, actually there's a story that Jesus talks about thank you. And you say, well, thank you. Is thank you in the Bible? Thank you is in the Bible a lot. I mean, not only for us to give thanks, but he talks about these 10 lepers. And lepers are people who had leprosy. And leprosy, I'm not really sure what to equate it with these days. But the lepers were it's a disease that caused sores all over their body. And they were seen as unclean. So they had to stay away from the general population. People shunned them. And it was a very sad situation to be in because here you are, there's no human contact. No one wants to touch you. No one wants to talk to you. No one wants to be in the same space with you. And I can just imagine how depressing and isolating, and demoralizing that can be. And it's sad, but we still do that to people these days. If they don't dress a certain way, if they don't have the same Harvard placard on their wall, if their skin is a certain color, if they don't make as much money, if they don't drive a certain car, we still tend to put people in categories where we treat them a certain way. We shun them if they don't look like they live up to our standards. And we want to spread love so we can help people get away from that. We want people to get away from that. And so anyway, back to the lepers. So these lepers were considered unclean, okay? They were required to stay away from other people because there was a fear that they might infect other people with their disease. So the lepers went on their way to see the priest, and they looked at their skin after Jesus told them, because they called out to Jesus and they said, Jesus, because they knew who he was. They said, have mercy on us. And Jesus obviously had mercy on them. And he had the power to heal them and they asked very nicely. So Jesus said to them, go, show yourself to the priest. He gave them a mission. He gave them a command. He said, go show yourself to the priest. And so the lepers went on their way and they looked at their skin and the sores were gone. Jesus had healed them from their disease. And they were so happy that they ran up and down the street singing and praising. They were happy. But then suddenly one of them out of the 10, he stopped. He came to himself and he said, wait a minute. He went back to Jesus and he praised him with a loud voice and he threw himself at Jesus's feet and he said, thank you. Thank you. And Jesus said to them, wait, where are the 10? Weren't there 10 that were healed? Where are the others? Where's the other 9? Only one of the 10 remembered to say thank you. God does so much for us. Every day he provides everything we need: food, shelter, family, clothing, a place to live. Do you ever say thank you? Do you stop and say thank you? Earnestly, sincerely, intentionally. Do you stop and say thank you? Do you take these things for granted? So I brought that up. I thought that was a really good example because it was obvious that Jesus worked a miracle. He performed a miracle for them. So this wasn't no simple thing that they could really kind of overlook. Thank you for coming back. I understand you got a bad connection, Vicky. Thank you for coming back. So this isn't something that they could overlook. This is not like the things that we overlook. You know, we sleep in the bed every night. And do we actually look at that bed at night and say, wow, someone doesn't have a bed? Or do we just get in it, put the covers up over our shoulders and fall asleep? Kind of take it for granted because it's there. It's not, the bed's not going anywhere. We take that thing for granted when there's so many who are homeless right now. And just to have a blanket or a pillow to comfort them would be something that they would greatly appreciate. And so when Jesus healed the lepers, this was no small feat. This was something, there's no way they could overlook it because they had been cast out. They had been in a situation where people did not even want to be in their presence. People didn't want to talk to them. People didn't want to be around them or brush up against them. I mean, I can imagine when the holidays and things, that people are seeing people from afar because they were cast out of the city. So they couldn't be around other people. So to know that there's family and there's friends elsewhere who are enjoying themselves and enjoying something as simple as human contact, I can imagine how that would make one feel. So when Jesus healed them, this is not something they could just ignore. I mean, this is a big deal. How often do we overlook what people do for us every single day? How often do we choose to look at everything they do for us as a big deal? And let me give you an example. How often do we just go through a drive-through? Go through a drive-through. We take it for granted that there's a person at the window who's going to take our money. That's what they're supposed to do. That's their job. How often do we just roll up to the second window and they hand us our food? That's what they're supposed to do. That's their job. And you just drive off into the sunset with your latte or whatever it is you just bought, and you don't think anything about the fact that this person has a story too. They might be battling some things at home. They might even be homeless. They might not know where their next meal is. They might have gotten into an argument with their spouse or significant other. They might have lost a loved one in the family, but yet they got up, put their clothes on, and came to their workplace. Now, granted, yes, they have bills they need to pay, but the thing is they made a choice to serve anyway. So do you think about that as you exchange the money? As you exchange the latte or the bag of food, does it go beyond just a simple take it for granted? I give you the money and you give me my stuff, I give you your stuff, and we're done with each other. Or do you take the time to say thank you? And say thank you with all of that in your mind as you say. So the thank you can have some depth to it, have some texture to it. You understand what? Some weight to it. Do you look that person in the eye and give them a sincere Thank you. Because you understand the act of selflessness that it took for them to do what they did, whatever it is. When someone holds the door open for you, do you take the time to say thank you? And not just a fly-by-night thank you, because I think a lot of us, I think instinctively say thank you. But what I'm trying to get you is go a step further. Do you say thank you intentionally? Like I said, do you put some weight in that thing? Do you look that person in the eye? Do you not only make eye contact, do you even make a physical contact? There's something, I remember when I was little, and I even think about it now because I miss it, because my mother is a touchy-feely kind of person. And when she talks to you, she touches you. So when she talks to you, she'll say, baby, did you do so and so and so? But while she's saying that, she's touching your hand, or she'll touch your shoulder. And I miss that because I didn't realize what an impact that had on me. I'm a touchy-feely person. I think, and I know everybody isn't. Everybody's not wired that way. In fact, some people might even get a little offended by it because that's just not how they're wired. And that's okay. That's okay. But when the opportunity presents itself, when you can go back to our first mission of the month, when we were giving away smiles, intentionally smiling at people on day one. So it's something about giving that smile, you'll get a smile back. And maybe you can go the extra mile and really say, I see you. I hear you. I appreciate you. You see what I'm saying? That's all people want. People want to be seen and heard. Now here these lepers were, they now have the opportunity to go back to their families, go back to civilization, not be cast out. And they were so happy. And I understand that. I can understand them being happy because they're free. They can go back to a beautiful life. But only 1 out of the 9 remembered to say thank you. Only 1 out of the 9 didn't take that thing for granted. Don't be the 9. Don't be the 9. Be that 1. Be that one that remembers, that takes the time. Even our friend Barney says, please and thank you. They are the magic words. If you want good things to happen, they're the 2 words that need to be heard. I love that. We can learn from a purple dinosaur also. Say please, but say thank you. Say thank you. And so our mission today is to go out, and I'm very curious. So I want you all to please remember to go to Perception Chick on Facebook. Share with me what it was like, the mission yesterday. I wasn't able to leave the house, and our mission, for those of you who haven't seen the replay or didn't get a chance to turn in, our mission yesterday was to intentionally say, and this is the script, it's a hello or good morning, depending on, what time of day it is. It's a beautiful day to be alive. We had to stretch ourselves yesterday. We are intentionally ushering, because the question is, are you an usher? And we talked about the definition of usher and how it marks the beginning. You can be the marker to usher a new way of thinking in, a new atmosphere. Is the atmosphere going to shift when you enter the room? Are you going to usher that good thing? So yesterday, the challenge was all about loving on others in such a way that you can break them if they're if they're in a depression, if they're having a bad day. Hello, Joseph. Thank you for joining, my brother. So that's what that was all about. So with your thank you today, you have the power to change someone's life. There might be someone out there now who's experiencing the feeling of not being appreciated, not being seen. They feel like they're invisible. It could be in their family. It could be on their job. It could be on both ends. And your simple, kind, eye-to-eye contact and a sincere thank you, I see you, and I appreciate you, could change their whole life today. It could change their way of thinking today. This Love Fest is all about leave others valued every day. That's our love. It's not about us. It's not about us. What can you do to change the perception of someone else's life? Help them see it a different way. Help them out of that pit they might feel like they're in. And my friend, you have the power, you have the authority given to you by Jesus himself to change someone's life with your words. You can speak life to them. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Be careful what you say. So something like a thank you, which is encouraging because you're acknowledging that person exists and that they're important. They're not invisible. My goodness, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Who wouldn't want to be a part of that love fest? Who wouldn't want to be a part on changing lives? I mean, come on. And it's so simple. It costs you nothing, my friend. It costs you nothing. The power of this thing is magnificent. And what greater thing than love? Because God is love. So you can give a piece of him to somebody else. Hey, blessed 1982. Oh, that was a good year. You have the power. You have the authority to be game changers, world changers, life changers. You can do that because he gives you. To God be the glory. Thank you, Vicky, for dropping in. I appreciate you, my sister. I do. So let's go forth. Hey there. Hello, blessed. I see you. So, I feel in my spirit that once again, this is going to be a good day. Go forth, soldiers, SOULJAH, and you epics, you embracers and perception changers. Remember, the I is small. The other letters are capital. The I is small to remind you that it ain't about you. It ain't about you. Go forth. Spread some love. That's what you do today. Today, say thank you to everyone you meet. There's always a reason to say thank you. They hold the door for you just because they're in your presence. How about that? You can even go that mile. Maybe they didn't do anything intentionally, but the fact that they walked in the room, thank you for sharing your smile with me. Thank you for sharing your presence with me. I was having a so-so day. And you walked in the room, you just lit it up. Give somebody a compliment. Share with them a thank you. It's simple. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say, what your experience is during this Love Fest is. So go to Perception Chick on Facebook and drop me a little note. Tell me how it's going. I'm really interested to know. I love y'all. Ain't a thing you can do about it. Okay. I encourage you to embrace your life, embrace your purpose, and cherish your time. And cherish your time in this world. Let's use it wisely. Yes, use it wisely. God woke us up this morning. Bye, Vicky. God woke us up this morning, giving us another chance to get it right. So here's one more mission for you. Go forth and carry it out. Okay. I'll see y'all tomorrow if the Lord say the same. Love you.